Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're joining us from today. Welcome back to Wave Camp. That's right, I'm alive. Wow, as you can tell, I'm still not 100%, but I'm excited to be here. I know I don't sound like me, but we're gonna do this. And so let us know where you're joining us from today. I see Eric, of course, there joining us from the wonderful world of Germany. And you know what? I am actually going to put in my earbuds today because we're going to bring in a guest today. Hopefully, I'll need to hear them. So anyway, let me know where you're joining us from. Today we're going to be talking about how to work with guests here in the wonderful world of Wave Video. There's Karina joining us from overseas as well. Where are my American friends? Or do I have any? I don't have any American friends apparently. So let's see here. Let's bring up my handy dandy list of wonderful things I need to make sure that we cover today. And I'm going to move this over here. There we go. All right. There's Katie. Katie also overseas. Oh, she's at the beach. All right. Well, good to hear you. Are at the beach. That sounds great. I know I sound, I don't know, like a mixture of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet or something. I don't know. I've got a really weird sound in my voice today. Move my chair down a little. All righty. That feels good. All righty. Here's what we're going to do, guys. First of all, I sound like a squishy pumpkin. I'll take it. A squishy pumpkin. I've been called worse. So we're going to be talking about dealing with guests today. Hey, Cynthia, first time here. Well, glad to have you. Our camp was supposed to be over. This is our Camp 2.0. So hopefully if you get a chance, if you're curious, we did do a beginner version if you need it. If not, then just jump in. We're not going to blow your mind or anything. Well, maybe we will today. But I had been sick for a week and still getting my voice back. All right. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a quick review, brief understanding what we're going to be doing here today. Obviously, you see the stickers and the T-shirts on the board. Everybody who participates in Wave Camp until we finish it here in the next few days, we're going to send you our new Wave Camp 2.0 stickers. Some of you are going to have a chance to win a T-shirt. We're going to be doing a drawings for the T-shirt, and we're giving you 20% off an annual plan, as well as any friends that you want to refer right now. You're also going to get 20% off for them. In fact, if it was me, I would make sure I signed up for our affiliate program, because then you can get them 20% off and you get paid as well. Chad, stop being sick. I would love to. The teddy bear should be for me. Back in the background, Winnie the Pooh is my favorite Disney character. All right, so we're going to be talking about a few things: how to give rights to guests when they're on the show, how to check the sound, and the quality of the image of what they're sending over to you. So we're going to be doing some screen shares. This is some interesting comments coming through right now. Karina, you might want to check that one. I'm pretty sure that might be something weird. So we're just going to not acknowledge that right now. It's over on YouTube, Karina, if you want to take a look. Okay. What else? We're going to look at how we can change the overlays and change the sizes of the speakers' cameras or their images, and how they can share things with us as well. So we're also going to give you a template. Karina's going to be putting that link in the different chats for you. It looks like, tell you what, let's, I'm going to move this so that I can screen share it with you. Just give you a quick little looky at it here. And let's do some wave magic, and I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm going to hit my little share screen. And with a wham bam, bada bada boom, piece of cake, no problem whatsoever. Ba-dum. Let's see. Here we go. All right. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. Basically, it's just it's a basic spreadsheet just for tracking guests that you have scheduled to come on the show. And we're just making that available to you. It's something that we use just so that we know what's going on. Who the guest is, their contact information, any notes that we have. We send out a Google form to our guests to fill out so they can send us any links they want, or if they want to give something away, if they want to share something, if there's specific topics that they want to talk about, any information. We've got about 10 questions, I guess, that we ask them. They're pretty simple. But it's helpful to have all that information ahead of time. So we schedule that out. Of course, the information on this is just made up and fake stuff, but it's there for you to have as an example. So we're going to share the link for that so that you guys can have access to it. Just when you go to it, you just make a copy. You're going to go File, Make Copy. See, boom. And then you're going to make a copy of it so that you can have it for yourself. Okay. All righty. Let's get back to it. Here's what I'm going to need. For today, let's see. Let's show that on the screen. Boom. Okay. It's a bit.ly link. I apologize. We should have probably made that like a bit.ly Wave guest form. But we didn't. So I'm going to leave it up there in case anybody needs to type it or write it down, but it's also in the chat, so you can click it. I'm saying a lot today, and that's just because I'm still in a bit of a fog. Okay. All right. Here's the deal, guys. I need a volunteer today. So if you're at your computer, you've got your camera and your setup ready to go, let me know, and I'm going to pick somebody to come in and be my guest so they can kind of be my example for the rest of you guys to see. So you get to hang out here in my Wave studio. So you can put it in the chat, or if we're connected, and you can message me on Facebook if you'd like to, and I will see it there. But go ahead and do that real quick, and we're going to bring somebody in so that I can show everybody else what we're doing. All right. Now, just so that you do know how to bring a guest in, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try something a little weird today. So bear with me, because this is some crazy stuff I'm going to try. I've never tried this before, so there's a chance it won't work. But that's what makes it fun. Oh, not set up for that today. That's okay. All right. When you want to bring a guest in, obviously the first thing you have to do is you have to invite them. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to take this off of here. We're going to go to, I'm going to make a new scene in Wave. I'm doing it on the fly today, just so you guys can kind of see also how easy it is to do it quickly. Okay, so here I am. I'm in this new scene here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me a little smaller here, and I'm going to make this a little larger. But what you're going to see, let's see. I'm going to make this a little bigger. Okay. Can you guys see that? I don't want it to duplicate. So in the studio, right below your main screen, you'll see, you can see them highlighting here, right? The buttons. And one of the buttons is invite. And so when I click that, it brings up a link, and I just copy it. And then I will send it to anyone if they are able to come in here and be my guest. But so far, nobody has volunteered. I thought we'd have people jumping at the, to want to come and hang out in here, but it looks like I may not have a guest come in. So let's see. I'm waiting. Anybody? Any takers? Oh, Karina, she's sharing the news before I could do it. Okay, I'll go ahead and tell you while I'm waiting to see who's going to come in here and hang out with me. Hold on. Let's just bring that up. I'm only at the phone. Okay, let me move this out of the way here. She wants to tell us a secret. It will be possible to connect your guests' channels to the broadcast in the near future. It is almost ready to go. That's right. Co-streaming, I believe, is what we're going to be calling it. So you will be able to co-stream, and people will be able to just add their channels into your stream. So if your guest wants to go to theirs, they can do it. So that's about to come out. Okay, so wow, I can't believe all of you guys that are here today. Nobody's in front of their camera, ready to stream. That is my fault. So shame on me on that. Okay, so I'm going to do pretend then. So if I were to have a guest, here's what would happen. Let's take her comment off the board. Okay, so they would show up down here in the bottom next to me. Okay, as a guest, they would pop in once I sent them the link. That's where they would be. Now, when they're in there, you're able to hover over them and control their volume. Okay, let me move this over just a little bit. There you go. And you can control the volume of each guest that's coming in, or if you're sharing a video, you can do that as well. Okay. Those of you who don't know, this next below here, director's voice, if you turn that on yourself or your guests or whoever, then their audio will be heard whether they're in the scene you're playing or not. So if you're going to do a screen share and you don't want to be on, have your face on the camera, but you still want your audio, if you're not in the scene, then you want to make sure that your director's voice is on. But you can control the audio level of your guests here. Okay. Oh, come on. Somebody's gonna be my brave person who says, come on, be in here in the show with me. I almost had somebody come in ahead of time, but I thought it'd be more fun to just do it on the draw. Somebody says they just messaged me. Oh, you guys are in for a treat here. Wait till you see who's coming to see us right now. This is going to be something else right here, you guys. I'm bring this over here. Oh, that just went all through my screen, didn't it? Okay. Jim Fuse is going to join us here. Thanks, Jim. All righty. Oh, that's different. Just flew through. Okay. So we're going to wait for Jim. So he should be here any second here. He's pretty quick. He runs an Amazon live show called Dealcasters. It's fabulous. So his setup's going to look, oh, here he is. So let's just bring him right in here. What's going on, brother? You're allowed to talk.
I got to make sure I got everything set up right here. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. He's not even in like the real studio. He's just like, I can go anywhere, man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just start showing them that I can come over here, guys. And so I can click on Jim and it's going to bring up his. There you go. You can see that it brings up his volume. I can control that. I can turn the director voice on him as well. Okay. So just so you're aware of that. All right. Now, the other fun little deal I can do here with Jim is I can give him permissions, or I can also ban him forever.
You don't want to give me permission, do you?
Well, I want people to be able to see here what's going on. All right. Oh, they were talking. Somebody said that's different. I thought they were talking about the fact that I'm saying this to Jim. I'll explain it to you guys later. I'm using NDI screen share with the anyway, I'm using the NDI screen share so I can do a region of interest to screen share right now. So when I pulled my other window through the region of interest, it like just scrolled across the screen, all my Facebook messages. So that could have been awkward, right? So anyway, Jim, thanks for coming and hanging out, man. I appreciate it. So somebody said they said please be in the bath. No, thank you. Let's not do that. All right, so I'm gonna unclick here, but let's go back to this here with Jim. If I hover over him and I click the 3 dots here, there's a permissions piece that comes up. Now let's see if I can do this. This might mirror the screen a bunch of times. It's going to do that. Dang it! I thought that might happen. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to. I didn't want to have to do a separate studio. What happens is it brings up. You can kind of see it here, guys. When I click permissions. Okay, it brings up. Like right now, you can see that it shows admin, and you might get the mirror effect right now, but it's going to have guest, support, presenter, co-host. So you can give them all different levels of rights. So if I make Jim an admin, right, which is scary.
It says I have powers.
Yes, it says he has powers. So Jim now has the ability to see the studio. He can control and move things around. He could create his own scenes as well. So it's actually a really cool tool. They said it didn't look mirrored. So when I did this, you guys didn't get like the infinity effect. Oh yeah, there's an infinity effect if I do that too big. If I don't make it too big, it's not so bad. Sorry, guys. This is my first time trying this this method instead of opening up a separate studio. I just curious to see how it would work to show different parts of the screen. Okay, that's my light telling me it's not charged all the way. This is what happens when you go live for the first time after being sick for a week and haven't turned anything on. So we're going to turn that light off. Okay. What else do we want to cover as far as guests? Jim, you've had guests on. You've played around with this. Were there any features you?
Yeah, I think kind of to your point, making sure you give your guests the right level of what they need to do, because if you want them to be able to set up you don't necessarily need to make them an admin, but you might need to make them a co-host so they can do their scene if they're going to be doing a presentation. And if they're not used to Wave, you probably want them to come in early so you can kind of walk them through that. That's something that I would recommend, because this is definitely a very powerful tool. Plus, I saw this on another Facebook group, but I thought it was interesting is, are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on PC.
Yeah, so I'm on a Mac. So you may have to also, when you're talking to people, realize that keystrokes could be different, some of the commands. So just keep that in mind. But the nice thing is that Wave can be used on either PC or Mac. Yeah. And so that's just something to consider.
One of the other things too with guests, guys, if you want to on the fly, if I like right now in the Windows screen share here, you'll see if I go and I hover over Jim, if I press the button that has just the face little person icon there, he's going to become the full screen. All right. I know that's a scary thing. And then if I click it again, it'll revert back to where we were. If I wanted myself to become the full screen, I can do it that way, right? Or boom, like that. So it's a quick little way to go back and forth as far as your guests here on the show. Trying to think what else. Guys, are there any other, can I use a phone or tablet? That's a tricky one. There's some workaround hacks.
That was me using my powers.
Oh, I was like, did I click something? Because so there's the downside, guys. If you give them too much power, they can take over your show and play and mess around with you. And when I have friends like Jim, I know they'll do that. If I look away for a minute, I come back and who knows what will be on the screen. So quick and easy. And you can also then put those people into scenes and set them up how you want, so that you can make that visible too. Let's see, how does that do for me? That went all kinds of crazy. Okay. So note to self, I got to figure out this whole region of interest screen sharing component, but I'm going to figure it out.
Now, is that new, Chad, the region of interest, or is that because you're using NDI?
It's an NDI tool.
Okay.
But it is zooming in and cropping based on the size of the region of interest. And so I'm not sure, I have some kind of setting or something weird on it, but at the end of the day, we're showing everybody what it is they want to need to be able to see. Okay, so really that's it as far as guests. You can set up your scenes just like we've shown you before, and you just add your guest cameras into the scenes, and you can resize them like you do everything else. So nothing's different there. So Jim, we'll let you go back to doing what you're doing. Thanks for popping in real quick.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, man. We'll holler at you. All right, thanks. Okay, so let's see what other questions you guys have right now. This is about the co-streaming. Will allow more than one co-stream feed per channel. I can't say that that's been answered yet, but I'm going to assume that that's absolutely the case, because that's the whole idea behind it. And Karina, if you're watching, if you want to check YouTube, I think we've got a little bit of a spam thing going on over on our YouTube comments, so we might want to take a look at that. That's always fun to deal with. What other questions? Oh, one of the other things we wanted to talk about with guests too is when we're preparing for the show, is the questions, how we put our questions and things together. Now, I've been blessed and lucky because we have the team at Wave, but the show we do there, they've always helped look at SEO type things and questions and topics that maybe are going to rank higher in search engines. We also do is go through the past streams and look at the questions that you guys have asked, to maybe come up with new ideas for shows and then build new questions around that. But we always create the questions around the topic that the guest wants to talk about, but that we also know that our people are interested in, and we usually put those together ahead of time. Between 8 and 10 questions at the most is what we do. And we put them on a Google Doc and we send those over to the guest, let them look at them. It's actually kind of nice as a guest. Hey, JS, thanks for hanging out. As a guest, I know I like sometimes having the questions ahead of time. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just like ask me the questions and let's do it. And if I know the answer, I know it. And if I don't, I'm not afraid to say I don't know, but I don't like to put other people on the spot like that. Karina wants you guys to let us know, how do you prepare your questions? Do you study a biography about a guest? Do you stick to the same questions? That's a great question. And you could do that. There are shows out there where people will ask the same questions each week. It's just a standard deal. I personally, one of my standard questions, I always like to ask people about their story. What got them? Why do they do what they do, before we talk about what it is that they do? Just anything that I can do to create questions that will turn into a narrative, and more of a storytelling session than just a how-to. But that's just me. Some shows are very just how to. Chad is alive. Chad's barely alive. I like the elbow cough thanks doc. Apparently in YouTube, the emojis did not show up right here in our comments, so I'm not sure what's going on there. That's funny. Elbow cough thanks doc. So that's another component. Are there other questions you guys have as far as bringing guests into the show. I think pretty much that's everything that we're going to cover today, and we'd wanted to keep this short. So, dum ba dum ba dum bum. I think we did. Let's see. JS, I usually look to ask some serious questions and some that are a little off the wall. Yeah, definitely want to keep it light and do those kinds of things as well. One of the things, guys, I think I didn't mention is with Jim, is that I can also give him the ability to share his screen. So when he has those powers, his screen can be shared as well. So if he has a presentation or he has something he wants to do, he has the same ability as you do when you're live. And that can all be done in the studio as well, which is super helpful. If you look at the show we did with Kurt Nugent, he was able to do that and share some of his things with us. We are working on that. I know that is a high priority. So to answer the question earlier about mobile or a tablet, I know that I can go on my Android phone. I can go in Chrome. If I turn it on desktop mode, I've gotten Wave, the live studio, to work that way. It's not optimized for mobile. Everything's really small, but I can do it from my phone if I turn it on desktop mode in the Chrome app. So it's possible. I've heard people struggle with that on Apple products. Okay. Guys, that's really it. I don't know if there's anything like super hardcore advanced or whatever today. If there are things that we missed, we may cover them tomorrow. But as far as I know, I believe we covered everything. We may do a little review. There's no homework per se, really, with this particular camp week like there was in the first one. But if you have a show coming up and you're going to bring in guests, we'd love to see it. And if you have any questions about any other things that you can do with guests, then by all means, please let me know, because we would love to see what you have going on. Let me remind you guys, Karina is wanting me to remind you, don't forget to check out the template that we put together that has our guests. Here we go, right here. Boom, boom. And it's just a simple spreadsheet that we use to track guests, who's coming on, and information that we've gathered prior to the show so that we have it all ready to go for the show. It's a great little tool, and we're giving that to you guys for free. You can just go there and click it. All right. Hey, I appreciate you guys putting up with me. My first time back. I'm still a little under the weather, and I apologize for being maybe a little foggy. But this was energizing for me, and being around you guys was good for me. So I'm probably going to rest a little bit today, but we will be back tomorrow, and I'm going to be ready. We're going to be 100% just on the ball, ready to go. We're going to be talking about pre-recording. They call it one feature with a dozen possibilities. So it should be a lot of fun. So we'll take a look at that tomorrow with what we can do with the pre-recording features here. Let's see. I've got a question here. Let me answer that real quick. How do we participate? I don't have a show. I did watch week 1. Do I just do a test going live? Does it have to be in a public group or page? Tanya, if you're not ready to go public, or if you want to do it privately, or if you want to just do a test or recording, that's fine. The homework and the stuff from week 1, that was, during it when it was live. So there's no prizes or anything you're going to win for doing the homework from week 1, other than the prize of just building your confidence and being ready to go. So we're just glad you're here, Tanya. So I hope you're part of the, it looks like you're part of the group, part of the community, and just know that we're all here to help you out with anything when it comes to Wave. That's the great part about the Wave family here. Everybody's always looking out for each other, ready to help each other. So let us know how we can help you get your show going, or make your videos, or whatever it is, whatever your goals are. And that goes for everybody here. that's why we're here. So that being said, I'm going to take my squeaky sounding voice and see if I can't get back my regular voice by tomorrow. And we will be hanging out, talking about pre-recording and all the features there. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And we'll be ready to go. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Tanya, for the Feel Better shout out. We'll see you then.